Yo, what's up? I'm Dr. Swole. I'm a medical doctor and pro natural men's physique athlete. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing my current full hypertrophy program, which is a 4-day upper-lower split. The upper-lower split is one of my favorite splits for bodybuilding. And in this video, I'll show you how I'm currently using it. I'll be revealing everything about my current setup, including the exercises, sets, and reps. Keep in mind that this program was written for me, so it's very individualized. I'll be talking about unique aspects of the program, my reasoning behind everything, as well as some pros and cons. Let's do our program walkthrough. This is Dr. Swole's personal upper-lower program as of August 2025. It is a moderate volume program designed for the advanced athlete, particularly myself. We have upper body day 1, lower body day 1, upper body day 2, and lower body day 2. Here are the exercises and there are the sets and reps. Down at the bottom, we have the total number of sets for each workout to give you an idea of workout length. And here we have the total number of sets for each muscle group across the week. Let's start off with upper body day 1, our first day. I start off with dumbbell bench press for the chest. This is my main heavy movement for the chest, 3 sets, and I'm using a top set back off method here. So I work up to one top heavy set of 5 to 8 reps, and then I do 2 back off sets of 6 to 10 reps with lighter weight. This allows me to build strength with heavy weights in that top set while still accumulating volume in those back off sets. Then we have chest supported rows for the back, 4 sets of 6 to 10. I've actually been programming these pretty heavily. I like how having a chest supported row allows you to really target that upper back, and you really make sure that those upper back muscles are the limiting factor in the movement. Next, we have the machine overhead press, which mainly hits the anterior delts, but also gets a little bit of upper pecs and triceps, 2 sets of 6 to 12. Then I have machine pull downs for the back, 4 sets of 8 to 12. I've been trying out a new machine at my gym. Keep in mind that different machines are gonna work better for different people based on your body proportions. So you'll have to see what you have available at your gym, try it out and see if it works well for you. When you're trying out pull down machines, you wanna make sure you get a full range of motion and have a lot of tension on the lats at the top of the movement, which is the lengthened position. Okay, next we have cable upright rows for the side delts, 4 sets of 8 to 15. Upright rows also hit a little bit of your traps. Then I have cable crossover press downs for the triceps, 3 sets of 12 to 20. I've been playing around with these, basically use the double cable stack and you cross over. It actually feels pretty natural. You do sacrifice a little bit in your ability for progressive overload just because it isn't the most stable movement. So this is something I wouldn't necessarily recommend to beginners, and I wouldn't make it your main heavy movement. Moving on to lower body day 1, we start with squats for the quads, 3 sets, and I work up to 1 top heavy set of 5 to 8 reps and do 2 back off sets of 6 to 10 reps. After that, straight leg deadlifts for the hamstrings and glutes, 2 sets of 6 to 12. These are like RDLs, except your knees are pretty much locked out straight the entire time. You can't move as much weight, but it is a solid movement and you get a big stretch on your hamstrings. Next, I have hack squats for the quads, 3 sets of 8 to 15, machine curls for the biceps, 3 sets of 8 to 12, and cable hammer curls for the biceps, 2 sets of 10 to 15. Then I have lean in dumbbell lateral raises for the side delts, 4 sets of 8 to 12. For these, I lean against the wall away from the side that's carrying the dumbbell. This will make sure that you have tension on the side delts at the bottom of the movement, which is when the delts are in the lengthened position. You'll notice here that I have some of my favorite modifications to the upper-lower split featured in this program. I have my bicep training and some of my side delt work moved off of upper body day onto lower body day. This solves a couple of the problems of the upper-lower split. In the upper-lower split, first of all, the upper body tends to have less priority than the lower body if you run it in a symmetrical fashion. That is, if you have 4 days or 6 days in the week. And this is because you just have more muscles to train in your upper body than you do in your lower body. So if you give an equal number of days to both the upper body and lower body, your upper body is going to be disadvantaged. So to even out the priority, you want to move a little bit of your upper body training onto lower body day. Typically you want to do this with less fatiguing muscle groups since the legs are so tough already. So taking some of your bicep work and side delt work works really well here. Also, I really like separating biceps from back training, especially since I'm training with relatively high back volumes. Your biceps are used indirectly in back training. So if I were to have my biceps coming after back training on upper body days, I wouldn't perform as well on my bicep work. Next, we have standing cable calf raises. I really like how this one is feeling. It totally depends on if you have access to this kind of machine. You could always put a box next to a normal cable stack, but I find something to try if you have it available. Next, I have upper body day 2. We start with close grip bench press for the chest and triceps. This is my main triceps movement of the program. 3 sets, and I'm also using a top set back off method here. One top heavy set of 5 to 8 reps, followed by 2 back off sets of 6 to 10 reps. Close grip bench press is one of my all-time favorite triceps movements. People will argue that the biomechanics aren't perfect for triceps growth, but what people don't account for is overloadability. Your ability to overload a movement heavily is a huge factor in exercise selection, and I would argue that it's actually more important than some of the very subtle biomechanical perfectionisms that people will talk about with exercises. I want you to think about the concept of the overload ceiling. That basically says, how heavy could I potentially go with this exercise if I were to get really strong over time? If you're comparing close grip bench press to, say, a single arm cable extension, you'll see that with that cable extension movement, you're not able to get very heavy over time. If you compare this to, say, a single arm cable press down, you'll understand that you're not able to go as heavy with that cable press down just because of the instability of the movement. Heavy compound exercises, particularly something like a close grip bench press, really allows for progressive overload. Next, we have cable rows for the back, 4 sets of 6 to 12. After that, machine flies for the chest, 2 sets of 10 to 20. Neutral grip pull downs for the back, 4 sets of 6 to 12. Then I have dumbbell upright rows for the side delts, 4 sets of 8 to 12. As a note, if you find that upright rows are painful for you when you're using a barbell or some kind of cable attachment that's a bar, you could try using dumbbells, which allows you a little bit more freedom in the movement pattern. After that, I have easy bar skull crushers for the triceps, 3 sets of 6 to 15, and I am supersetting these 2 movements. Moving on to lower body day 2, I have deadlifts for the glutes and hamstrings, and I'm currently doing sumo deadlifts, 2 sets, and I'm using a top set back off method here again. 1 top heavy set of 5 to 8 reps, followed by a back off set of 5 to 8 reps. After that, I have standing leg curls for the hamstrings, 3 sets of 8 to 12. Then I have more hack squats for the quads, 3 sets of 8 to 15. As a note here, I am recovering from patellar tendonitis. I'm really happy with how my progress has been. I'm not being bothered by it so much anymore, but I still am keeping my quad volume artificially low here. So if I were recommending a program to someone else, I'd probably recommend higher quad volumes. So just keep in mind how this program is individualized for me. After that, we have lying bicep curls for the biceps, 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. This is like an incline curl, except you set the bench all the way flat. After that, we have machine preacher curls for the biceps, 2 sets of 10 to 15. I have some more lean-in dumbbell lateral raises for the side delts, 4 sets of 10 to 15. One thing I like about dumbbell lateral raises is that they're really portable. You can just grab dumbbells and move them anywhere in the gym. So keep in mind that you can superset dumbbell lateral raises with almost any other movement. I'm always looking for ways to save time in my programming. Here I've been supersetting these dumbbell lateral raises with some preacher curls. You'll notice that I fought hard to make sure I had at least 1 superset in each of my workouts in order to save time. This technique tends to work better with your smaller muscle groups since those movements aren't as fatiguing. When you try and superset more fatiguing movements, you may run into cardiorespiratory issues as your limitation, just something to keep in mind. Finally, we have standing cable calf raises for the calves. I'm using a MyRep scheme again here, 1 main set of 8 to 15 reps, followed by 7 mini sets of 3 to 5 reps, with about 10 seconds of rest in between. A couple of notes on the overall setup here. I set this up ideally to be run as upper body day 1, rest, lower body day 1, rest, upper 2, lower 2, rest. When the upper body day and the lower body day come back to back, you want the upper body day to come first. This is because you're going to be really fatigued after a tough lower body day and you may not perform as well on an upper body day coming afterwards. You'll see that each of my days is built around a main heavy movement, which I've programmed with a top set back off method, which allows me to build some strength. You'll see people talk about IFBB pro bodybuilders using relatively light weights for their muscle mass, and they'll say that, hey, you don't need to lift heavy in order to get big. And it's true that training for strength and size are going to be different at a high level. But if you are going to be successful as a natural bodybuilder, you do need to get stronger over time, at least relative to where you started. A lot of the enhanced bodybuilders you see are actually doing everything they can to keep the weights down. This is because that they're able to get so strong with the help of steroids that their muscles will outgrow their tendons, and they actually put themselves at risk of tearing their tendons when they lift really heavy. This is why you'll see that it's relatively common to see people in the bodybuilding world who are using drugs, who will have, say, bilateral quad tendon tears or tear their biceps or pec tendons, whereas this isn't as common for natural lifters. So I do want you to think about programming in a way that's going to allow you to get stronger over time and really push those numbers. Obviously, you do want to be focusing on good technique at all times, But within the bounds of good technique, you really want to be pushing towards getting stronger over multiple sets in the moderate rep ranges over time. If you want to learn more about how to optimize the upper lower split, check out my book, Dr. Swole's Guide to Upper Lower Splits. I give you a lot more insight into how to really program for optimized hypertrophy. I will be sharing this program as an Excel file. Check out the description if you want to download it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more top-notch free hypertrophy programming, and we'll see you next time.